Well, hello. Hopefully, you can all hear me. I had a bit of a technical malfunction by pressing go live about half an hour ago, so I've had to quickly schedule a new stream and get on here. But yeah, hopefully you can hear and see me. I'm actually using a different laptop with a uh, better webcam thing. I was trying to use my iPhone, but for some reason I couldn't get it to work on my personal laptop, so I'm having to use my work laptop. But it seems to be working because it seems that you can hear me. So let's see which kind people we've got in the room. We've got Hooked on Classic Simone, hello. Project Nigel, Paul, hello. Jimmy Quinn, hello, Jimmy. The Greenwood, hello, Tracy. Uh, Hello, Simon. I think I've got everyone. Bad Books, good evening. How are we all doing? Well, I feel like an absolute chump. So I have to go into London for work quite a lot. So I had this appointment to go and sort out a problem on a building site today. Normally, I check to see if there are any issues with the railways, but nah. I got to the station and there's a big notice up saying underground strike, limited service. So it took me what should have taken an hour to get in central London, took me 2.5 hours. I'm full of cold, so when I got to this job, I was absolutely in a foul mood. So that'll serve me right for checking the public transport. I'm not gonna drive in central London because it's just yeah, not that fun. But tell me about your days. Have you anyone done anything chumpish? Any chumpism occurring? Um, I Yeah, that's pretty much my working day, and then I've got home and been trying to sort out the house. So that was yeah, really really thrilling day. So I'm really glad I'm doing this live stream. It's the first of many, I hope. I'm going to start off doing one every couple of weeks, um, just until work settles down a bit. But I've been enjoying, some of your live streams. But I thought, time for me to do some lives myself. So what are we all saying? I'll just see if I'm going to try and keep up with these comments and not get distracted. So Simon's just watched Project Nigel's latest video, which I haven't done yet, but I shall be doing that. I'm hoping Rob's live stream is all about beards and sausages. It can be. It's a topic. It's two topics that I'm more than happy to discuss. I like both beards and sausages. That sounds a bit odd. Oh, you corrected live. So I didn't even spot your typo there, Simon. You can hear me and traces. You can hear him and see me. That's brilliant. That's really good. It is quite strange, actually. I do a lot of Teams calls and meetings for work, and obviously you can hear and see everything unless someone's going to make a cup of tea and turns their camera off. So it's quite an interesting sensation talking. I can see myself talking, but I'm not getting anyone talking back at me. So it's it'll take some getting used to, but it's all good so far. Hospital. Yeah, hospital. I think there's quite a few strikes today, actually. I only seem to get post once every 2 weeks, so maybe the posties were off as well. Hooked on classics. I've had a rather stressful day. Well, tell us some more about that, Simone, because let's hear what's happened. So everyone's saying hello to each other. Hooked on classics. Are you at the NEC? Good question. Are you at the NEC for the full 3 days? Is it the restoration show coming up? I feel so out of touch with stuff, but yeah, we'll have to put that right. Pingu Concord, good evening. Good evening to you, sir. I'm got a little bit of a cold, a sniffle, as my mother would call it. But other than that, I'm fine and dandy. Thank you, sir. Simon reckons that we all need to do StreamYard like Simone. Works really well. I'll you have to tell me more about that. Uh, so Simon, you're going down somewhere on Friday. Is it? Tell me what this thing is. This thing. Project Nige, yeah, good advice from someone experienced. We're doing live streams, but after a while, you go into autopilot. Yeah, hopefully that will come soon enough. Um, Project MGTF. I think the question everyone is asking is, what car have you bought today? I have not bought a car for about 6 weeks. Um, what was the last thing I? So the last thing I bought was the ZTT, which I bought basically because it was really cheap and it had Apex wheels. So those Apex wheels have come off the ZTT, and they're going to get refurbished uh, in a color called Shadow Chrome and put on my ZT260, which is still broken. And if you watch my I don't know, little update I did in a video the other day, we're trying to get a new mass airflow sensor from America, but apparently the pallet of car parts from the States disappeared. Poof, just disappeared. So yeah, still no mass airflow sensor. If that doesn't work, then yeah, we're into ECU territory. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, the ZTT was the last thing I bought, but I have agreed to buy another car, which I'm sure you'll quiz me on in a second. But I won't say anything else. I'll let you. I'll build up the intrigue and let you question me about that, and I'll see how much I'm going to give away. Tracy says you'll be hooked on doing lives and chatting away into the ether like a pro soon. Thank you, Tracy. I do hope so. Yeah, it's. I feel like I'm talking to myself, but obviously there are some lovely comments coming up. We've got 8 people on as well, which is fantastic. So Simon says that's the NEC Resto show. So I'm guessing that's the one where Practical Classics have a big stand and are quite kind of leading the way, shall I say? In that is that the show I'm thinking of? Uh, Bad books, slightly better day today. Work forgot to put customer's order on the lorry. Oh, yeah, yeah. Forgetting to put stuff on lorries is story of my life with my work as well. Simone will be changing the windscreen of the Cortina, which I think is TC at the NEC. That sounds brilliant. Bad Books hasn't bought a car for 9 years. Just thinking about that gives me a nosebleed. I didn't used to be that bad. I used to just buy the odd thing, but I don't know. Something's got into me. I don't know what it is. Project Nigel is asking everyone to press the like button. Thank you very much, sir. Lick the high button, Simon said on his live stream. That's yeah. If you want to lick the high button as well, then go for that. Bad Books thinks I bought a bread van. I have been looking, but I haven't bought a bread van. Well, the one I took out between Christmas and New Year was absolutely lovely and really, uh, really, yeah, made me consider one. Yeah, bread van was my first modern car. I did have an MGB when I was about 15 because my dad was an engineer and loved tinkering with cars. So he bought me an MGB and we sort of fiddled around with it and then sold it. But it was a bit too rich on the insurance for me when I was 17. So I went out and bought a bread van and ran it for quite a few years. And I don't know whatever happened to it. Guy bought it from 10 miles down the road and lost track of that car. But so I got it right. So yeah, Practical Classics. Yeah, I thought there'll be a big write up on that in the next few episodes of Practical Classics. Matt J, good evening, Matt J. Saw a 75. Ooh, saw a 75 long wheelbase limo today. A five-door one. That's I've never actually seen a long wheelbase 75. I've seen Paul's video when he took one out. I don't know how long ago Paul made that video, but yeah, I would love to. I would love to get my hands on one of those for a drive, not to buy, but to yeah. So that's a really good spot. That's a really good spot. Um, Simon Bread Van equals polo. Yeah, assuming bad book, I'm pretty sure bad books means the polo, which is the bread van with basically the Mark II, with the almost estate like boot. Pingu Concord asks, "Have I bought a facelift Rover 45 in silver?" Not me. That's someone else. And I may know where that silver 45 is going from and to, but I shan't say that. But but Pingu, then you get very close to the mark, or just another MGTF. Well, I've never actually owned an F or a TF. Um, but I may well have a sale, uh, agreed a purchase rather, on an MGTF. And you may well see a collection caper video from me, not this weekend, but next weekend. So yeah, do keep an eye out for that. Bad books. My daily is a company car. Yeah, same as that for me. Simon's paused for some reason. I don't quite what he's relating to. Macho, the bloke looked like Citizen Khan. That was a funny. That was a funny program. Um, Hooked on Classics asks, "How long would you leave a dead battery on charge for?" If it's really dead, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably replace it if it's dead. But is it 24 hours supposed to trickle charge a battery for to get it back into rude health? Someone more technical than me will probably give a better answer. Project MGTF asks, "Has it crashed to everyone or just me?" I do hope I've not been talking and no one's been hearing me for the last however long I've been waffling on for. Matt J has got bits for MGTF. Well, I don't. The car that I may have bought is actually I'm buying it for me. I'm not buying it as a project. I'm buying it for me, and it doesn't need really anything doing to it. But Matt, if I need some bits, I'll be sure to. Or maybe you get in touch with me if unless I can't place you who you are quite, but do get in touch via my Facebook page. I'm always happy to receive a message from anyone. Oh, Tracy, that's good. So just Simon. It's just the internet up in Yorkshire is not working too good. See, bad books is more technically smart charger for battery 2 days. So, yeah. Pingu Concord asks, "Is it silver?" No, it's not. It's my personal favorite MG color, which is X Power Grey. Simo has a charger from the 90s, so it's not smart. I wasn't very smart in the 90s. Pingu Concord asks about my knob. So Pingu's referring to my Rover 216, which I bought off a subscriber up in the West. Well, these West Midlands there, and yeah, got it running again. Got the windscreen sorted out. The knob has not been fitted yet. I'm gonna make a half an hour video just about that. No, I'm not. I jest. Yeah, I've got uh, two more jobs to do to that car. So one is the seatbelt lower end needs changing. So I've got the parts. It's just sitting in the boot. I haven't got around to doing that yet. So I'll be doing when I sort out the lower end of the seatbelt. I will also be inserting that knob. Hope that answers your question, Pingu. Matt J, we got back onto the battery topic. So it depends if there's dead cells in the battery. It's more likely to be flatline than Maggie Thatcher. We spoke on Facebook. Oh, Matt, you're that Matt. Hello, Matt. How are you? Yeah, more likely to be flatline than Maggie Thatcher. um, Bad book. Simone, smart charger can possibly recover the battery. Aldi Lidl selling for 14 quid. I bought an angle grinder from Aldi's 15 years ago, and it's still going. It still works. Yeah, you do get some good stuff in Aldi's and Lidl's. I do like Lidl's bread. I probably eat too much of it. Simon's back. We did miss you. It seems like you've missed me just waffling on randomly. But I haven't shown you something that's arrived in the post today, so I'll do that in a sec. More little, more little. Yeah, Lidl's great. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be plenty of bits and bobs Simon up at the Resto show. So yeah, good shout. Brand new battery at Christmas. I've had to replace 2 batteries this year because we had that really cold snap. Was it December, early December, mid-December? And it just killed the BRM's battery, and I couldn't revive it. So I had to bite the bullet and buy a bloody new one. And they're not cheap now, batteries. Really, yeah, really shot up in price, like every other bloody thing, to be fair, isn't it? So Project and Paul is back. He's had a shower. That's great. Should have a guarantee on the battery. Yeah, good point. Simon says my angle grinder is French. Oui, oui. Très bien. I shan't comment any further on that. Matt J says Netto. What happened to Netto? That was another really good shop. They've been taken over by Morrison's or something. Project MGTF. Bram and Nigel need a play date. They certainly do. And I need to chase up what's happening with Bram, because last time I saw Bram, and I have got an update to do a video on, but Bram was looking quite sorry for himself because he had no bumpers. Well, the bumpers are still there, but they've just been taken. So no bumpers, boot, or bonnet. And he looked quite naked, poor little Bram. Well, it was quite nice because you saw all the red leather really easily because there was no panels on. But yeah, I need to get Bram hurried up because yeah, the way things are looking, I'm going to need about 3 reserve vehicles to come to Pride of Longbridge. Yeah, but yeah, definitely. Some of my cars need play dates with quite a few cars. I think, maybe something would like a play date with Simon, with Nigel, with Margaret at some point as well. Pingu Concord. I thought I was watching a Hubnut video when you were changing the rocker cover gasket on the 216. Must have been all the drop bolts. I'm going to be really honest. When I made that video, I had an earth-shattering hangover. I wasn't feeling great, and normally I'm pretty good at not dropping stuff, but luckily it was 1 bolt and 1 washer, and they've both been recovered and put back where they should be. So yeah, I'm not making a video or actually doing any work to a car hungover again, because no, not good. Well, it is fixed now, so that's good. Matt says there's a freight rover seen at Watford Gap powered by a Range Rover Perkins diesel. Now that seems so. The freight road. So that's that sounds very interesting. Try and grab some pictures if you can. If you see that, I'd love to see some pictures of that. Simon says, "Pink or lol Hubnut working on a car. Are you mad?" Yeah. Moving on. So this freight rover had a Rolls Royce grill fitted. So something again like that. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's something at the British Motor Museum that looks a bit like that. Or is that the P6 parts bin car? I can't remember now. Um, more discussion on Simone's battery. Yeah, I hope the guarantee. I hope you have got a guarantee on that, Simone, and you can sort it out. Um, he has staff for pesky tinkering. Yeah, I don't. I've got a cat who is currently asleep on the other side of this room. Um, and yeah, Junior Beards doesn't really take that much interest in cars, and Mrs. Beards absolutely doesn't. So thank you, Simon. Yeah, yeah, I have to do all my work to my car on the street. I have to work on the streets. Um, yeah, it can be frustrating, particularly when I'm washing a car and trying to avoid covering the police car, which seems to come daily to a house in the next street. I won't go on about those crackheads, those people right now, but yeah, I nearly snow foamed the police car by accident the other day, so that was quite fun. I'm not sure if that's a criminal offence or not, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind to keep their car clean. Um, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think the 216 is no longer leaking oil, so that's my. Uh, I think I'm going to be taking that to POL, because the 260 is not getting anywhere, and it's not a criticism of the garage because my garage they are fantastic. The 190, yeah, you've got to try and get the bloody airbag light to go out so we can get an MOT on it. I'm trying to say to them, just get T4 up and running and delete it, but they're not that keen on doing that. I am very social, but yeah, it's actually it's very Bad Books comment is really good actually. It's it's amazing how engaging it is working outside. Obviously, I've got my near neighbours who I know very well, and they kind of know my interests and hobbies, and are very patient when I've got cars leaking oil or cluttering up the road. But yeah, I do. Where I live, it's basically a cul-de-sac, but there's a path to get to the park on the other side. So you get a lot of people coming up here, just to make their way wherever they're going, and it's amazing how many people are engaged when I'm working, on the car. And I have to, if I'm videoing, especially, it's not frustrating at all, but I have to stop videoing. Occasionally, I leave a bit in because it's quite nice. But yeah, what should take me 10 minutes can sometimes take 2 hours because I'm stopping and talking to that many people. But yeah, there's some friendly people around here. Given that I live in the middle of a fairly big town, people are very friendly, and it's nice. Yeah, and when I took the red 75 out, my mate 75, which is now sold, eventually. Love, lovely car. Yeah, I was filming it in a village just because it was a bit closer to where he's based, and just the amount of people stop. What are you doing? Oh, I think someone thought I was the Christmas tree man, but I think one of you made a very amusing comment on that video that day. But yeah, it is. I love the engagement you get from people. I love the whole carmunity thing as well. On YouTube, on Facebook, and Instagram. It's very nice. There's so many like-minded people out there, but B, it's so bloody helpful as well, particularly when things go wrong. You can get help and advice, parts really, really easily. Where did I get to? I've gone off on one. Simone's cat's asleep too. Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's definitely catnapping time. Simon working on, so that's how you afford it. Guy's got to pay for his habit. Yeah. Pingu says the same thing. Simon says depends on the type of snow you're talking about. I make just sorry, I've lost the thread on that one a bit. Matt says one car I've not seen in years is a Morris Marina. Yeah, I can't say I've seen one in the flesh. I think the editor of Practical Classics has got one or did have one. Yeah, I do like a Marina. I have to say. Never eat yellow snow. Uh, very good advice, Simone. Very good advice, particularly if Simon's cat's been near it. Bad Book's only got one neighbour with a gob like a foghorn. Yeah, we've got a few around here like that. So yeah, I live in as you probably seen, I live in a sort of town centre. So it's Victorian houses, all close together. So I've got a lot of neighbours and a lot of foghorns. I'm just gonna have a slurp. Uh, my wine glass got broken, so I'm having to drink my favourite New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, which is my favourite white wine, out of a whiskey glass. Oh, that's better. Right. Hooked on Black 75. Yeah, Copperleaf. I got the colour wrong actually in my video. I think I said Nightfire Red. But yeah, Copperleaf is a really good colour on a 75. I quite agree, Simone. I really, really, really agree. Things never go wrong. They just become new episodes. Yeah. Yeah, when I was trying to fit the radio to the 216, I bought the wrong radio basically, but I've got another one coming eventually. I've had a eBay saga, so I normally get my eBay purchases, which are generally alloy wheels, which I kind of seem to be buying up at the moment. I get them delivered to a Londish shop just around the corner, but they've suddenly become pissed off with me. I think it's probably because I was getting too many parcels, and I had 3 different things. What do I have? Another 11 spoke. Another 11 wheel. 11's a alloy wheel for the ZT190 as a spare. I had radio and some ZT rear light seals, and they rejected all 3. So I've got the light seals now. The radio should be turning up, and the wheel should be turning up, hopefully, but getting them sent somewhere different. Yes, yeah, but the radio that was, yeah. Matt says, "Do the other daily special paint out the fact light?" Not quite sure what you mean there, mate. Wet legs rear end. Hello, Mr. Beard. Can you save me from the evil boaty man who keeps sponging me? When you say sponging, does that mean that? Well, is he washing you, or is he taking money from you? I don't. He's sponging you. Goodness me. Well, hello. Good evening, wet legs rear end. Nice that you're here. And I will. Yeah, I'll save anyone. If they're being sponged, because that's just sponging is bad. No, it's not. It's all right. Project Nigel needs to get in on the wine while streaming trend. Well, I think Paul's a beer man. I think I do struggle with some of these live streams. If I'm just sometimes I have to go to bed, particularly if I've been traipsing around London all day talking to sodding architects. But yeah, no, wine, but it doesn't have what you want. Gin and tonic. That's a bit Richard Hammond, actually, isn't it? Gin and tonic on your live stream. Simone can't drink alcohol anymore. It makes me very ill. That happened to me last week. Yeah. I had 5 beers rather than 4, and couldn't function really on Saturday, but managed to get stuff done. So, Beardy Streetwise, good evening. Hi, I think you need a Streetwise in your Rover collection. I'm game for anything, It's I am trying to thin the collection down. So I haven't decided how many cars I want to have, but yeah, at the moment I'm up to, I think I'm on 7 at the moment. The BMW's gone, so I haven't got a BMW anymore, which is it was a good car, but just far too boring for me. And got in it, it started, and there was no lights coming up on the dashboard or anything like that. So, streetwise is something I'll have to give some attention to. Obviously, this new purchase, hopeful purchase next week is, yeah, it wasn't on the cards, but what the hell? Um, Simon says maybe it's not the wrong radio, but it's the wrong car. No, it's definitely the wrong radio. Have I got it? No, it's not in here, but it's got the ISO. I'm not massively into car audio. I'm not massively into car. I'm not massively adept at fitting car audio. Um, so yeah, I just thought, oh, it's a Philips radio. It'll fit the car. Just plug it in. It's got a code. Be fine. But it had the ISO connectors, where rather than the Rover little rectangular ones. So yeah, but no, I've got a correct, and I have got a backup option as well from my mechanic son, um, who's very helpful lad, very helpful lad. But yeah, that just want to have that period radio in the car, just really make it look nice. Um, G&T lol. Project MGTF. Any interest in Kitten Face yet? Yeah. So Kitten Face, I'm moving on because it's not an MG or a Rover, and I've had my fun out of it. I've had my wicked way, and it's not a car for me anymore. I could throw more money at it and do all sorts to it and make it into a mean little street car. But I'd rather focus on getting the 260, well, get it running, but then I've got jobs to do to it once it is running to make it the car it should be or deserves to be. The 190, I've got jobs to do on that. The headlining being the next pressing thing once the MOT's done. So I really just want to focus on my kind of core loves. But yeah, I did have someone who said they wanted to come and see Kitten Face on Monday, and they turned out to be a messer. So that wasn't so good. Simone, alcohol gives me severe migraines. I used to drink everything from spirits to homemade cider. Yeah, migraines aren't nice. It's not something my other half gets them. I'm lucky I don't get them, but I know they can be very debilitating. So yeah, I don't blame you for if alcohol's a trigger. I don't blame you from keeping away. Pingu Concord, Hammond and May do a gin distillery every week. Do they really? Do they drink it, or do they go and visit one? I've not seen that. They probably do. They probably do drink a fair bit of it. Yeah. Oh, I see. So Matt's saying I should put some special paint over the ABS light on the dash. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get away with that one. No, but it's a good idea. Brew 11. Is that another drink? Do tell if that's an interesting brew, then tell me. Yeah, Simon, you're right. There are loads of them. You get alcohol-free gins, which I believe are more expensive than actual gin, but are supposed to be really, really nice. I have to say, my favourite drink in the whole wide world is tea. I love tea. I really love tea, actually. Um, Peroni's nice beer. Yeah, there's some really good alcohol-free beers on the market now. I think there's the Erdinger one as well, which is so alcohol-free. It's isotonic, so you can actually use it like a sports drink. Yeah, I was having some of that in January when I was not drinking. Pingu Concord asks, "What is my favourite biscuit or cake treat?" I'm not. I don't eat masses of sweet or sweet stuff. I'm not really a pudding man. I'm a cheese board kind of guy. But if someone bakes me a really nice lemon drizzle cake, um, I'm really happy, especially when it's got that really crunchy sugar on top. So the large, it's bigger than granulated, whatever you call the next one up from granulated, like crystal sugar on top, not crystal meth, crystal sugar on top of the lemon, and that is just I just love lemon drizzle cake with a cup of tea, of course. Um, I do occasionally like ice cream as well, particularly Belgian chocolate. That's yeah, ice cream is the one sweet puddingy thing that I will fall down a hole on if I'm not left if I'm just left with a spoon, then it's gone basically. But no, I'm more of a cheese board kind of guy. Um, Simon asked, doesn't May have his own gin brand? I've no idea. Lots of people do. Um, Simon says, "Isn't milk brilliant? Milk's nice as well." Simone, I'm with you. Tea. I have to drink a pot of tea every morning. Just I get up early, just so I can drink a pot of tea, whether I need to or not. Because I just love tea. And the other thing, tea, just regular tea with milk, no sugar. Try that with Chinese takeaway. They complement each other so well. They just bring out the flavors of each other really well. And I only discovered that when I was when I was hungover. Actually, funnily enough, I'm not a lush. I'm saying hangover quite a lot, but it's the same hangover actually. Hello, also a tea monster. Yeah, water and tea. Kind of basic, really good stuff. Bad books. Sorry, black lines. I quite agree. Pingu asks, "Have I ever been to Speedway?" No, I'm not. I'm not massively knowledgeable or what's it? I'm not. I appreciate bikes, motorbikes, but I'm not. I'm definitely a four wheel kind of person. But I'm looking forward to seeing Simon's Honda because that does look nice. Uh, Project Black Lions Water's good. Yes, yes. Simone eats too much cheese. Yeah, I was buying during the lockdowns. I was just using it to try every single cheese I could, and I was eating far too much of it, and went from being fairly slim to really quite fat. But yeah, cheese is really nice with some good grapes like Sablé or Vittoria grapes. Ah, brilliant. Uh, Hooked on lemon meringue, lemon. I do veer towards lemony sweet things if I'm going to have them. But yeah, lemon meringue pie. I will not say no to that if it's offered.
Could you try again?
Sorry, Siri's got excited on my watch. Um, yeah, lemon drizzle cake. Lemon with meth. Yeah, I can't start to the name of that sugar. It just sounds like crystal meth, but it's probably just crystal sugar. I don't know. Bad Book says Hooked on Classics. I've not had a drink for 11 years. Burst disc in my back. Painkillers meant I couldn't drink and not been bothered since. I think yeah, I guess it can take something like that. So Matt says Brew 11 is old fashioned ale. That sounds. I'll have to look out for that. I like old fashioned ale. Um, Simon says, yes, you're right. Chinese and lemon tea. I'll have to try that. I was just having tea with a tiny dash of milk like I normally do. But yeah, lemon tea could be good chat. Jasmine tea is also very nice with Chinese. Hooked on classics. Simone eats so much cheese. I even love cheesecake's nice. Had a really good starter in a gastro pub in Somerset a few years ago. It was like a savoury cheesecake as a starter, little tiny pieces of it with like pickled walnuts and fancy salad, and it was bloody gorgeous. Tea with Pingu says tea with toast rack dispersal. Yeah, the toast rack. I haven't actually used that yet because I do try not to eat too much bread, but yeah, the toast rack is going to be making an appearance at Pride of Longbridge. I've got a little idea for the toast rack. Simon says, I'm not a lush. I'm meaning me. No, no, I'm not at all. Yorkshire tea and water, good combo. Bad books. Black Lions would love a bike, but I die immediately, so it's best I don't go there. That's yeah. You know your mind. That's good. Um, some love for Chun Li. Yeah, I'm no, I'm looking forward to seeing Chun Li. Um, Simone quit smoking 9 years ago. I wish I could, due to medication, but I'm still on to this day. I do miss a Nick smoke, but yeah, good for you. I'm determined to quit, but it's difficult. Um, Pingu asks, "Are you a music maker?" That hasn't been tuned since the pandemic. I need to pick it up again. Yeah, behind me there's a piano and the guitar. There's a load of flutes kicking around somewhere. So yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I haven't really got time at the moment, but I like to sing. I like a flute. I like a bit of piano or organ. I used to play the church organ when I was younger, and I occasionally dabble with the guitar. So I do like music, and I do sometimes make music, just not very often these days. Pingu. Black Lines had no issue quitting smoking. He went cold turkey, and that's probably the way to do it. Wish you could say the same about sugar. Impossible, and I'm getting fatter. Yeah, shifting weight when you get older is. I've noticed it. I'm really struggling to get rid of my absolutely ginormous belly. Simon's stream has gone again. Does that mean your river's dried up, or have you got internet problems again? Um, Simone, good on you. Yeah, yeah. Bad books, another smoker. Now today, I did take delivery of something which I'm going to unwrap before your eyes because I was very excited. So I'll catch up on any comments, but they seem to have calmed down a little bit. So cold turkey, yeah, cold turkey seems to be the way to go rather than these gums. So yeah, so the 216 has got an original number plate at the front, and it's got to replace like Halford's jobby on the back. And I because I really want that car to look almost if it's come out of the dealers, almost. I again, part of the wonderful carmunity, asked a question on I think it's the R8 enthusiast page on Facebook. Got in touch with the guy. Don't know where he's based actually, but I said so I want someone who can make um, the period number plates for the 216. I'm just going to try and peel off this black this film on here, which I can't do, even though my nails desperately need cutting. Make sure I'm peeling off the right side. But I've got some lovely number plates here that have got the dealer logo on, which I'm going to show you in just a second. I'll read some bloody things. Paul says, "Keep going, buddy." Yeah, I think nicotine. I think caffeine is saying well, any stimulant, bloody things. Well, come on, any stimulant is when you don't have it, you feel shitty for a few weeks, and then hopefully out the outside. Simone says nicotine gum was gross. I completely agree. I've tried it a few years ago, and it made me burp, have acid like acidy here, real. Ugh, yeah, yuck. Pingu says, I'm actually now just delaying peeling this sticker off this number plate because I really can't get it up. Really can't do it. So Pingu says, yes, May has his own gin brand. There are some fun videos of him and Helen building Lego and playing chess while drinking lots of gin. I'll have to check those out. So Black Lion spent a fortune on polo mints. Yeah, I know someone else who they went on Jaffa cakes, which probably isn't robbing Peter to pay Paul, I guess, if you're eating stuff like Jaffa cakes. But yeah, polo mints. Simone crunches polo mints. Who doesn't? That's normal, isn't it? Doesn't everyone do that? Bad Books does like an old dealer logo number plate. That'll be fine if I can get this bloody film off, but I'll have to show him like this. I really can't. I really can't get this film off at all, which is actually quite upsetting. But yeah, we've got the rear one, so it's got the dealer there. You probably can't see it. It's Caffins of Kent. Simon's back again. Excellent, Simon. Excellent. And Bad Books is also back as well. Simon needs to get some show plates made up for showtime. What do you mean by show plates, Simon? Are they special ones with the sort of name of the car on, or something a bit different? Um, Black Lines are. Do they still sell spearmint polo mints? They were nice. They were nice. Right, I'm giving up on. I'll just try the front one quickly, and then I'm just going to give up on this because I'm not paying you enough attention. I'm just sitting here picking at my. It's like picking a really difficult scab, I guess. So bloody things. Pingu asks, does my 216 have an annoying high cold idle? Yes, it's idling at about 1600 RPM, I would say. Yeah, it settles down pretty quickly, but yeah, it's screaming its little titties off. It's really screaming when you first start it up. Oh, here we are. Oh, that's satisfying. Well, I'll show you. I get the front one off. It was the rear one that was causing me problems. Oh, the cat has woken up. Hello, cat. So yeah, these obviously you're probably seeing these in reverse, but yeah, we've got this lovely. So the current front number plate on Myrtle, the 216, is sort of deteriorating. So that will be an MOT fail, and the MOT is only next. I think I'm having it done next month. Yeah, we've got the lovely new deal, and we've got the same on the back as well. So it's going to look really nice. We've got to drill these and put them on. That's it, basically. So I was quite pleased with that. So I've got a really good contact. Guy called Matt up in, I think he's in the Northwest, Project Nigel territory. He made them up, charged a reasonable amount, paid him on PayPal. They turned up today. Really good. Carmunity. Can't beat the Carmunity. Right, back to these comments. So yeah, high idle. Yeah, we've got that. Show plates. So Simon says show plates channel name that fit. That's a really good idea actually. You're probably okay with Project MGTF, but I think Beards and Bangers might be a bit too big. But I could put something. Yeah, it's a really good idea. I like that. Bad Book says you're the son of an engineer. Get the film off. Yeah, I didn't inherit those genes from my father at all. Yeah, he was brilliant mathematician, great at sort of physics and chemistry as well. But no, not my strong suit. Great minds think alike, and fools never differ. They certainly do. That's very true. I have Pingu RCS. So yeah, 216. They do sound similar. I have one cat. I did have two, but one sadly got run over. You may have seen a little ginger and white cat squawking on some of my videos. That's actually a neighbour's cat that doesn't appear to be let inside during the day when it's really cold, but has actually slept in this house without us knowing. So snuck in when the door was left open and woke on my son's bed upstairs. Yeah. So yeah, one official cat, one regular visitor. My cat is called Louis after Louis Armstrong, and his sister who got knocked over was called Dusty after Dusty Springfield. But yeah, Louis can be 3 this year. He cannot hunt for toffee. He can't even catch a butterfly. Basically, he just likes food, tickles, and sleep. Yeah, he's not been out very much recently, so it's been too wet and cold for his dear little paws. Thank you, Simon. Yeah, I'm very, very, very pleased with them. Now I've actually unwrapped them. I'm well pleased in it with my plates. I've just had smiley plates put on the two ZTs as well, which are the rear smiley plates, which I'm really, really pleased about because that little thing on the back of the 190, yeah. Thank you, Bad Books. Yes, General Cheese. Good evening, General Cheeseburger. You've missed me rambling on and some interesting questions and comments from this erstwhile cohort of people that are on my first live stream. So, General Cheeseburger, welcome. Um, does the official cat have a beard? He really struggles to grow one. To be honest, he's got little whiskery things, so he's yeah. I mean, there is fur there, but it's not. It's nothing like this. Yeah, Paula, he's trying though. He's really trying. So General Cheeseburger has two cats, Zippy and George, brothers who are 11. That's lovely, and they're good names as well. And I didn't make a bungle of saying that. Ha. That's how lovely having two brothers. And do they get on? Do they fight, or are they just kind of just sitting around, kind of purring all the time? Simone has a cat. Oh, we're getting all the cats. The cat people are now. We're cat friendly on here by the sounds of it. So Simone's cat is called Georgia. She tries to kill you. What is she? Is she a pedigree? I know some of the pedigrees can be quite fierce. Yeah, tell me more, Simone. How does your cat try to kill you? Bad Books has two cats. Another cat person, Lilia and Ola, sisters, 15 years old. Wow. Pingu asks, at roughly what age did your beard start to go silverback style? Late 20s. Yeah, late. I haven't actually got much grey hair in my. Well, I haven't got much hair really, full stop. But I don't. If I do let this grow out, it's not. That's not really grey. It's just the grey really comes through there. But I'm certainly not going to dye it like what's that guy called? Rylan. Have a bleached white teeth and a black beard. I think that would I would look at faintly ridiculous. General Cheeseburger's cats mostly play fight. That's pretty good going at 11. Project MGTF has cats called Jack, the white one with the odd eyes, and Cookie, the random color one that's tiny. Which one was it, Simon, that was having a piss in your garden on camera? I'll let you watch Simon's video rather than spoiling it too much, but I just want to know which cat it was. Simone's cat was a rescue. People who rescue cats, brilliant. Has super sharp claws, trying to tame her. Yeah, she'll probably settle down, I guess. I've always had cats, and they're all so different. They're all so different. But I think any rescue animal. No, my mother's got a rescue border terrier Jack Russell Cross thing, and she's never got that dog round. Bet she's a lot better, but never got that dog round. Kicked as a youngster, I believe. Pingu, all cats try to kill me as I am allergic to their hair. And they say, don't they? Cats. If you've got people round, the cat will always sit on the lap of the person who hates cats or is allergic. I don't know. They've got this sixth or seventh sense that cats have. Yeah, but they'll always sit on the cat hater. Black Lions has 4 dogs, a Labrador, do like a Labrador, and 3 Cocker Spaniels, 2 of whom are sisters. That's a lot of walking, I would say. Labradors need a lot of walking. Used to have a Labrador when I was a kid, and 3 Cocker Spaniels. I think are they quite nuts? Black Lions, I think they might be generally as a breed. Bad Book. Mrs. B found ours dumped at 4 weeks old. Oh goodness, how can people do that? I'm quite soppy when it comes to cats or animals, actually. Oh goodness. Pingu's wife had 3 cats when I met her. It took a lot of effort to survive that. Well, clearly you have, and you married her despite the cats. Bad Books. Ola has mega long claws which catch in the carpet or loudly tap on the wood floor. Well, at least you know she's coming, I suppose. So, General Pingu, the infidel, used to have a cat. I wonder what happened to that. probably, I don't know, stuck in a Daihatsu, I guess. Anyway, moving on from that. Black lines, they can be a bit crazy, but they only need a little bit of exercise before they get tired. The Labrador never gets tired and is always crazy. And a human, they're canine dustbins from memory as well. They will just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. My dad shot a rabbit. He used to shoot, you know, bits and bobs all the time, but he brought this rabbit home that was no good for cooking or whatever. And uh, that he just fed. He read somewhere. I don't know if it was an urban myth that if you fed a Labrador a whole rabbit with the skin and the fur and all, it would flush out any worms. And this Labrador of ours, Polly, ate this chuffing great big rabbit and then ate her dinner as well. And my mother wasn't aware of any of this, and the dog was like on the sofa going, having eaten far too much. And my mother was like, "Oh, I wonder what's wrong with Polly this evening," and it was because of that. Yeah, that was quite a funny moment. But yeah, she lived for a Labrador. She lived to I think she was about 17 when she passed away, which is really, I think, ancient for a Labrador. Um, Simon has two rabbits as well, Professor Sputnik and Monsieur Lapin. Bien sûr. Wouldn't expect anything less. Hooked on classics. My previous cat was called Breeze. She passed away 2 years ago from kidney failure. She was 19 and a half, and I had her from a kitten. Oh, I love stories like that. Your best friend. 19, yeah, good age, but I bet you miss her, Simone. But yeah, it's yeah, my cat is definitely my cat because it follows me around but doesn't follow the others around at all. So it's, yeah, I know, I feel you on that, Simone. Pingu Concord, I believe something's been dealt. Oh, right, okay. Bad books like Simon's rabbit names. Yeah, he'll eat. Yeah, so Backline says, yeah, he'll eat all the other dog's food after finishing his. No problem at all. Yeah, I can just picture that. I can absolutely picture that. General Cheeseburger has a whippet as well, and scared stiff of the cats. Yeah, that sounds about right. Dogs generally are. Hooked on classics. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You will. Um, Paul would like a cat called Scabble. You have to explain that one. Scabble must be. There's probably a very, very intelligent joke there that I'm just not getting. Um, Simon says, "Be careful. Someone will give you one." For now, yeah, right. Well, it's past 9 o'clock, so we can be like that if we want, I suppose. PN does have a yard cat, indeed. I've seen. Bad book. Simone Breeze has before work. We had Spooky for 19 years till the kidney failure. I think it's. I know when I go to the vets, there's lots of pictures up about this. I think they trying to educate owners about spotting signs of kidney failure. Yeah, so it seems to be something the vets are really onto. Sponsored cat review for the captain, says Pingu. Simone says that she's in a few of the videos. Have to have a check back on some of those, Simone. Not posted to him, Simon. Project Nidal has yard cat taken food from you before. Scrabble, Paul. Right, Scrabble cat. Yeah, that's a really good Scrabble. Yeah, I like that. That's very, 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 very good. And that's the end of the comments. And we're nearly at an hour, which is kind of where I was going to finish up. But I don't know if anyone else has got any live streams tonight. I know there'll be the usual 11 o'clock fare from the Peak District. So I will, if you want me to, carry on for a little bit longer. Bad Books is Greyhound hates the cats, but Greyhound has got no teeth. So yeah, it wouldn't do much good if he did catch up with one. Black Lines has a grey squirrel who lives in our garden. You can imagine the hilarity that causes with the dogs. Yeah. Yeah, three spaniels and a shut up, Siri. Three spaniels and a Labrador. I can imagine that's noisy and yeah, fun. Uh, that could be messy. A DPN delivery. Children says, "You know your cat has kidney problems, but it drinks 8 pints of lager a day." Yeah, in that case, I used to have a kidney problem as well. So no, I don't drink lager. Ugh. Um, yeah, bad books are going to do the same as me. Check Simone's vids. Project MGTF. A very now serious question. What is your ultimate MG rover you want, Rob? A working 260. um, do you know I like them all. Um, what MG? Ooh. I'd love an MGA. If we're talking sort of the MG Rover, so the two early late 19 early 2000 stuff. I think I've got it, to be honest. I think it's, if we get the 260 working, it's a car I was after for a long time. And I bought a broken one because it was affordable. Not affordable, it was cheap. And it's actually a really solid car. It's just get this running sorted out. We're there. So I think I've actually got it. Would I want the now? What's the X Power one called? The SPV, the coupe with the V8. Would I want one of those? I don't know. I'd like to have a go in one. That's for sure. Yeah, good question. I'll give that some more thought, Simon. Jonathan says most greyhounds have noted it's the wet food. That's interesting. Um, Yeah, the wet. I'm guessing some wet pet foods has a lot of sugar in. I've heard it has. So is that? I'm guessing that's not so good for the dog's teeth. Simone hasn't seen the yard cat for months. Oh, Pingu Concord asked, "What was my first?" My first video was my. This is how I started doing YouTube videos. So it's May last year. And like a foolish boy, I sold my ZR160, which was a cracking car. But that was kind of it was like, if you're getting the 260, I had to sell that. Um, and that was my other. I said I'm going to go out to the countryside and take some photographs, and before the guy comes and picks it up. And my other half said, make a video. I'm like, all right. So I made a video. Didn't have a effing clue how to stitch them together, anything like that, and managed to cobble something together, uploaded it, and she was like, "Well, do another video then." And I just started out like that, and didn't do many videos to start off with, and then just kind of got into it from there. So yeah, if you go back in my you know content list, whatever it's called, I think it's 1st of May last year. There's the MG ZR160. The sound's hideous, the editing's hideous, but you do get to hear the stainless steel exhaust, which is quite nice. Good question, Pingy. Thank you. Project MTF. I'd have one of those supercar ones they make. SV. Someone must know what it's called. SV. Blah blah blah. General Cheeseburger. Anyone see the YouTube yesterday on the prototype? Some nice ideas were scrapped. Yeah, I haven't caught up on that series that Tom's doing. I think it's Tom. But yeah, he's doing some interesting videos at the moment, and that's one I do want to watch. Pingu Pingu asserts that Hubnut has kidnapped the yard cat. Alert the admiral. Bad books were saving for an MGB, but bottled it and bought the MX-5 Mark One. 1.8 roadsters. Which one do you get? Sore point with Simon. Don't talk to Simon about MGBs. I won't say any more than that. Um, Greyhound kennels fed the great. So Greyhound Bad Book says the Greyhound kennels fed them crap. Yeah, I used to live very near some Greyhound kennels when I was living at home with my parents. There was a dog training track in a couple of fields behind my parents' home. You'd hear them going mad when the food come round. You can imagine just like slop out of a bucket. I can just well imagine it. Um, Project Nigel, Paul's girls just caught a glimpse of me and asked if I am the source. I do not know what Vsauce is. Do enlighten me. I hope it's a good thing. Um, Simon, Bad Books asked Simon if it's sorted yet. I shall let Simon discuss that. And he does, yeah. And Simon doesn't know who Vsauce is either, or what Vsauce is. Um, yeah, so General Cheeseburger had a rescue greyhound before the Whippet. Only had the Whippet to rescue it from a bad home. Rescuing dogs. Project MGSVR. Yeah, yeah. Give me a go in one of those. Hook Simone. Yeah, Tom Drives is a very very good channel. I'm pretty sure he'll be at POL. But yeah, he's doing some really sort of more car history videos, which I really like. I quite like the car history videos, and yeah, he's done some really interesting ones in the last few weeks. Pingu, General says Pingu, the Admiral has a hit list. Okay, okay. Um, Graham Rescue told us the high protein crap food ruin their teeth. Bad Book says. Um, what do we feed our animals? I feed my cat James well beloved grain free food, which is very expensive, but he loves it and will wake me up by meowing in my ear when his little bowls run out. Yes, including the other day. Was it Saturday morning? So I was thinking, oh, lying, which lying for me is like 7:30. And he had me up at 4 o'clock on a Saturday bloody morning. But the cricket was on from New Zealand, so I managed to watch a couple of hours of cricket, which was a bonus, and then fell asleep again. So it wasn't so bad. Right. Paul answers. Vsauce presenter Michael Stevens, very clever man with a beard and glasses. Well, out of those, I have to research who it is, but out of those three traits, I possess two. General Truett, Greyhound food is VAT free, has all sorts of crap in it. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Have I got anything? Have I been a plonker at all? So apart from this, I told you about my lack of train or lack of undergrounds in London. Have I done anything else plonkerish? No, I did a very nice dinner, fried sea bass with a salad, and that was absolutely yummy. Um, Simone says Georgia never wakes me up ever. That's unusual for a cat. Yeah, mine wakes me up quite a lot. He's a little bugger sometimes, but he's lovely. I don't know where he is. He's probably gone out. He come down. He's gone out. We'll show him. Oh, next time, next live stream, I'll show you Louis. Mine's a 99. Good evening. If you could only keep one car from your collection, which one would it be? Oof. That's a really it'd be one of the ZTs. I've not driven the ZT 260 that much, so it's hard to compare. But the 190 is a car that I rescued from up in Nottinghamshire, and I thought I'd get it fixed up and sell it on. But I've really fallen in love with that car just because it's gone from being a shit box to actually it's becoming quite a nice motor. And if I had to keep one, if you held a gun to my head right now, I would keep that. Just because I've kind of babied it through. When I drove it back from Nottingham, I didn't take it above 50 miles an hour. I didn't go on the motorway. All the brakes were shot. Everything was shot on it, to be honest. And I've kind of between me and my mechanic son. I say my mechanic son. My mechanic son is actually my mechanic. The mechanic just owns the garage now. He doesn't actually do any work on my cars. Um, yeah, between me and him, we kind of got it round, and I really like it. So yeah, gun to my head, it'd be the 190 I would keep. Uh, yeah, so yeah, shouting outside the bedroom door at 6 a.m. We don't have our bedroom door shut, but which is maybe something I should start doing. Georgia sleeps on the bed with me. Louis sleeps on the bed with me. Also, Simone. It's yeah, he goes right at my feet. General Tim only has one car in his collection, and he's financially responsible for his wife's and so you only own one car, but you pay for three. hmm Um, Pingu asks another question: which of your collection do you think has the best build quality, door shut sound, etc.? I think it's probably the 190. Well, the 190, the 260. I think the ZTs do have a particularly nice, heavy shut. They're a heavy door and they feel shut. BRM 216. Yeah, they're lighter weight doors, and they feel it when you shut it. They a bit sort of echo around the car a bit. So I think the ZT 190. You shut that door and it it's shut. Best build quality. Of my current collection, it's probably the Micra, actually. And I hate being disloyal to MG Rover, but the Micra is just everything works on it still after 20 years. Apart from concern, I've just changed the brakes and the radiator, but they're almost consumables. And bear in mind that car was driven by a little old lady, so everything is seized up through underuse. Yeah, the Micra, the Nissan build quality seems quite remarkable. But people say, "Oh, MG Rover, the build quality is not great." I guess they did cut corners after Project Drive, but they're not terrible cars. The Fiat, blimey, that's just full. That just It's just crumbling, that car. Bad books. Lilia wakes up. Bad books is Lilia wakes up for food at 5 a.m. Wakes them up at 5 a.m. for food, even if there's food down. It's just a habit. Hooked on classics. Julie doesn't. Simon, I say, Julie doesn't like the cat licking his bottom on the bed sound. Yeah, I get that as well, actually. But so Simon doesn't want to know about Simon's sex life. Simon says, "Have you heard 2023 is the year of the Tourer?" I have heard that. I have uh, I have got a Tourer, the ZTT, which is currently laid up, awaiting a decision what we're going to do with it. So either my mechanic son's going to buy it, or I'll get him to do the clutch, and then probably flop. I won't say anymore because I say I'll probably flog it on, then don't. So, but yes, Simon, I have heard that 2023 is the year of the Tourer, and you do now own a Tourer. Mine's 99 asks, how many? Oh Christ, how many cars have you owned, and what was your first car? First car was an MGB GT. First kind of modern car that I could actually insure and use was a Volkswagen Polo Mark II, 1985. And that's one of the cars I reviewed around the Christmas time. I was really keen to get behind the wheel of one again. How many cars have I owned? Quite a few. Um, yeah, I have to tally it up because it's a lot. Um, it's a lot. Um, yeah, Bad Books. Simon, Bad Books has heard that it was Year of the Torah as well, and but he's asking who. Pingu's Torah is going to be back on the road soon. Woohoo! Pingu, is your Torah a 400 by any chance? I'm thinking. I know you might have sent me a picture of this, but I forget. Pingu says Torah life is spreading. So yeah, they're nice. I've just sold the. Oh, Pingu's just dropped the 420 GSI Tourer bomb. So Furious has got one, Paul's got one, and you've got one. That's I am. Yeah, that is a 420 GSI. Doesn't even have to be a Tourer. It's a car I would like to drive at some point, if not own. Because I think T Series, yeah, yeah, really good. Um, yeah, Tourer life. If anything, I just sold the BMW Tourer, but that was a temporary stopgap car, and it did its job, thankfully. Um, but God, was that hard to sell? I think I think finally car prices are beginning to stabilise. Not modern classics. I think they're still going up, but I think sort of regular used car prices are beginning to finally come down. Um, oh, Pingu has got a Nightfire Red 420 GSI Tourer. Nightfire Red 420 GSI Tourer. How lovely does that sound? um, Project MGTF, lol, mostly laughing at Pingu's Nightfire Red mostly. Babbock says 420 GSI like buses, none for ages, then two at the same time. And there was one on eBay. For 1,200 quid around the same time I bought the BMW. And I was negotiating the BMW and I completely missed this 420 GSI Tourer. Happens. Lack appeal, kind of given, and rust. Project MGTF asks, how long before someone replicates Nigel? They can't, can they? Nigel is Nigel, surely. Tell you what, similar vein. A car I've not seen for a very long time is a Harlequin Volkswagen Polo Mark III. So you had the Volkswagen Polo, the Mark One, Mark Two, Mark Two A. They can call it Mark Three, but then the Mark Three was the slightly more rounded shaped one, and they made a Harlequin. I think I'm right. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, they're quite Nigel-esque. The Polo Harlequins, but I've not seen one actually driving for a very long time. If anyone has seen a Polo Harlequin, tell me. Drop a comment in here or send me a message on Facebook or whatever, because I'd love to see one of those. They're really quite interesting. Paracetamol time soon. Simon says, I bet there's a Nigel-esque out there. I don't know. Nigel's Nigel, surely. Bad Book says he saw a very faded Polo Harlequin last year in Holland, though. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, yeah, the last one I did see was, I mean, I might not even been driving. It might have been kind of falling apart on someone's driveway. But yeah, in Holland, so you got to go to Holland to get on. Might not be doing that. Yeah, I think the Harlequins probably have rotted away. Or full resprays in one color. Why would you do that if you had a Harlequin polo? Why? I don't know. I don't know. Pingu asks Simon if that's French. Certainement non. Europe had a Mark III Golf Harlequin, and I'm guessing your implication from that bad books is that we didn't. Um, Bit like us never having the Audi 50, which is where the Polo came from. Um, yeah, imagine that's quite Mark III Golf Harlequin. Yeah, that sounds quite nice. So it's the Mark threes of the Polo and the Golf then. Um, Hooked up. Simone wanted to change all the panels on her 75, but can't find enough in good condition. Um, I've never actually looked for panels for an R40. Yeah, you can get you can buy seals. There is a guy Simone on eBay. What's his? I can't remember his name, but if I find it, I'll ping it. But I think he can make any panel. Obviously, they're pattern parts, but he can make as long as he's got a pattern for it, he can make any panel for any MG Rover, I believe. Just not for my BRM because we can't find the patterns. But um, Simon says that Simone should get one panel wrapped at a time. Pingu asks, have you ever driven an MR2 or Impreza sexually transmitted infection? I have driven an MR2, but long time ago. That was quite good fun. Impreza, I've never driven a Subaru full stop. I've never ever driven a Subaru. I probably need to. I probably should. Quick slurp. Cold. The cold is creeping up on me again. General Cheeseburger says mixed panels. A Johnny Cash car. It says Nissan Cash car. What panels does the BRM need? So the BRM needs the rear crash panel, so behind the bumper. It needs a bit of a roof pan, so the roof, the inner roof panel, just the back of that, and it needs a front crash panel. We can work with what we got, but if we can get new metal in there, I'd like them to do that. But yeah, the guy, this guy who makes panels wants a pattern, and I've tried to find a pattern for these panels, but I've had no luck. But if you know of anyone, Bad Books, please do drop me a message through Facebook or I don't know if I've got any other. I think I've started putting my email address on these on my videos so people can get in touch like that as well. Because I'm conscious that not everyone does do Facebook. Hooked on Classic. Saying of Taurus, I have a Cortina Tourer. Right. Yeah. More so Simon's, yeah. So I think he's really bringing the Tourer agenda to the fore this year. That's obviously his mission. Where are we? Johnny Cash, One Piece. I can't think of that Johnny Cash song. I have to go and listen to that after this. Simon says, "General lol, the one stolen one part at a time from the factory." Pingu used to deal in MR2s and parts before my Rovers took over my life. Impreza STI was the quickest point-to-point car I ever owned. You're making me want to take one out. I probably wouldn't buy one, but you're making me want to find one and review it. I would like to drive an MR2 again because they were great fun. There we are. Well, I think I'm about to have a coughing fit. This has been a thoroughly enjoyable first live stream. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. So I'm going to probably do one every 2 weeks at the moment. Can't do one next week, so I'm away with work. And I'm going to go for Wednesdays. I think that doesn't clash with. I don't want to clash. I know Simone does them Obviously, Boaties is 11 o'clock. So there's no way I'm going to clash with that because I'm definitely asleep at 11 o'clock most nights. But I know Paul's doing a couple of weeks, Simon's doing them, Simone's doing them. I don't want to clash. So I think Wednesday, 9 o'clock, eventually every week, but for now, every couple of weeks will be my B&B, Beards, Bangers and Banter. Yeah, it's nice to not see you all because I can't physically see you, but to see your comments and to interact with you and be part of this wonderful carmunity that we have on YouTube and Facebook as well. I don't think I've missed any other questions. Thank you, and thank you for your lovely comments. Thank you guys for participating, and I will see you all again very soon on my next live stream. Goodbye.